Tonight's WWE Raw is brought to you by Minute Maid. Bring the juice. Jey Uso looking to bring the juice tonight against Big Bronson Reed as the yeeting continues.
I'm not gonna lie, for a minute I realized this might be the last time Jey Uso is physically able to yeet. I actually considered eating myself. Then I realized it's a kind of a cheap suit. I didn't want to ruin it.
I just didn't want to get on Bronson Reed's bad side.
And his opponent from Blackburn, South Australia, weighing in at 330 pounds, Big Bronson Reed.
We're being told that he's accompanied by the man now known as the Oracle, Paul Heyman.
About time you put a little respect on Paul Heyman's name after the insults of last week, Cole. You know, he heard you when you were incessantly chattering at him while Heyman was trying to make some very important business moves.
Well, I want to know who he was calling during a match.
Well, that's none of your business, but Heyman took to social media to chide you, so to speak. I'm not going to repeat it all. It's not necessarily appropriate for air, but let's just say the Oracle was none too pleased with Mr. Michael Cole.
And a great agent of divine communication. That's an Oracle. Extremely wise. Nonetheless, Big Bronson Reed, Jey Uso one-on-one tonight. Big Bronson Reed says about respect. He said Seth Rollins once didn't respect him, so he delivered a half-dozen tsunamis. Now Seth respects him. He says Jey Uso doesn't respect him, so he's going to give Jey Uso some of the same medicine tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately for the former world heavyweight champion, main event Jey Uso might want a little divine intervention to get past the Destroyer.
Jey Uso, the former world champion. In fact, he pinned Bronson Reed. Oh, goodness! I was going to say Jey pinned Bronson Reed in a fatal four-way last month in the King of the Ring tournament. Interesting to note that Bronson Reed has never been in a match with Jey Uso in which he has won.
That could very well all change tonight. We heard the mentalities of Braun Breaker. See what he did to Sami Zayn? We heard where Big Bronson Reed's head is at tonight. And we're seeing what he is doing to Jey Uso. And later tonight, who better than Rollins to complete the trifecta?
Bronson Reed delivering the last rites to Jey Uso, who moves out of harm's way. If you're Bronson Reed, do you get fired up after what Braun Breaker did earlier tonight to Sami?
Oh, no doubt about it. Not that Big Bronson Reed required any additional motivation, but you want to keep up with your guys. You want to follow suit. No! That's proven to be easier said than done because main event Jey reminded Big Bronson Reed what he is all about.
Yeah, Jey, the former world champ, man who beat Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship, never one to back down.
Look at the sheer size of Bronson Reed just a few feet in front of us. What is going on inside the head of main event Jey Uso? Incoming!
Suicide dive, Bronson Reed up and over our announce table. Jey Uso has got Bronson Reed on the ropes here. Did you expect this out of Jey Uso tonight?
I'd be lying if I said I didn't. Listen, this is main event Jey Uso. This is a man who became world heavyweight champion on the grandest stage of them all. You should never count Jey completely out. But we know what the headspace is of Big Bronson Reed, and we know who's calling the shots. Rollins and Heyman, as if Bronson wasn't dangerous enough to begin with.
Well, Jey Uso clearing off our announce table, not quite sure what he plans to do with Bronson Reed here. He's got to lift 330 pounds up if he wants to put Reed through the table. And now Bronson Reed turning his attention to the table that Jey Uso cleared off. Jey, however, kicked to Reed. Reed into the chair. I'm not sure he wants to be there. He's a sitting duck or a sitting Auxilla.
Don't say that too loud, Cole.
Bang! And Reed taken out by a fiery Jey Uso tonight.
Jey caught Bronson Reed right on the temple with that super kick, knocking Reed out of the chair. And Jey now with a few valuable seconds to compose himself, but fully understanding he needs to keep applying the pressure.
And now Jey Uso looking for perhaps another suicide dive.
Here we go.
Jey coming across. Oh, no, no! Well, official Jessica Carr will call for a disqualification after Bronson Reed just launched that chair